this one. Yeah, that one. But I got to do the the QuickTime. Salutations and shit, motherfuckers. Welcome back to another episode of your new favorite travel podcast, Travel and Shit. My name is D. Carey, and considering that I welcomed you to the show, guess what? I'm your host. So, Travel and Shit is an experiential conversation about travel, less of the where I went and what I did, but more of the what I experienced and what I got out of my traveling abroad.
Right.
And this week, if you haven't noticed already, shame on you, because basic, comprehension, listening, listen. This is a podcast.
Oh my God.
Audio is important, I'd hope that you're listening. I have a guest.
Yes.
And I am a fan of letting guests
that you're listening.
Oh wait, I forgot that's going to be a thing.
Yes.
I fucked it up already.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all good. We just want to do what we got to do.
Send requests.
That's right. Let's just do this.
I'm that auntie. I'm that auntie friend that I just throw money at the problem. Let the babies do the thing. I sent the request.
Yes, I got it. Yes. So
I'm trying to figure out live on the Instagram, y'all.
She's trying to figure it out, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out too. And boom, it's lit. Let's go.
Bloop, there we go.
Hi. Hello. So I have some
sharing my videos.
So I have my student Megan.
Oh, you know what I learned? Let me get my AirPods.
Oh. So let me do this for now. So I have
there we go.
I have my student Megan.
Hi Megan.
I have my student Alicia. I have my cousin Michelle.
Hi ladies.
I have my boy Keston. I have Doobie in the building.
Oh wait, so we say hi. Introduce yourself.
Okay.
Boom.
So hey, how you doing? It's your girl Jasmine Noir. Jasmine Noir is French for black, so it's Jasmine Black. Yes, it is. That's not my real name, but I love the name. I put it together, and ever since then, it's just been rolling with me.
It's your thing.
It's my thing. Jasmine Noir is my thing.
So Jasmine Noir.
Yes, Jasmine Noir.
What else is your thing? What do the people know you for? What do the people love you for?
I think people know me. Well, not I think I know. People know me most for my dancing. So dance is my drug. When people see me, the first thing they say is, "Oh, dance is your drug. Here comes Jasmine. You know, dance is her drug." I have the word dance tattooed on my lower back. So,
I sent it again.
That's what people know me for. So it should be, okay, let me try it again. With the French toast. Let's try it again. So that's what people usually know me for. So it would be dancing for sure. Just that for sure.
So I figured that I had it together. Apparently, I don't. Let me see.
It's all good. Let's just keep going.
There we go.
You got it? Good job.
Because I don't want the reverb to
like
the audio.
Quality. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I try to do right by the people. So
Megan, did you do your homework? She's talking about tell them, girl. Megan, that homework better be done. I know that.
See, she on them.
I'm on my
Megan,
students.
do your homework.
Do your homework, Megan.
Get it done.
Alicia, you too. Do your homework.
Alicia, ladies.
Do your homework, ladies.
Keeping it together.
That's right. Those are my girls.
So, when did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 3. So,
did you start at MCD?
I did not start at MCD. I started at Gloria Jackson.
Okay.
So what happened was my mother told me, yes, we are Queens girls. My mother told me, okay, so what did she tell me? I don't remember, but she was teaching her dance class because my mother also dances and trains. And she went to the bathroom and left her class, I guess, to do a stretch. My mother said she came back in the room and saw me in front of the room stretching the class. I don't remember this, but that's what she said. Mm-hmm. She was like, I came back in the room and you're stretching the class. I had a doll baby. Her name was Ebony. She said, you put your doll baby Ebony down. and got up there and just started stretching the class. And I'm just like, what? And I guess ever since then, my dad can dance, you know, so she was just like, I'm going to put her in dancing school. I couldn't sit down. I have ADHD. Mm-hmm. So I can't sit still. Like I'm always, you know, on the move. Right. So my mom just decided to just put me in dance. And I've been dancing, honestly, ever since. I never put my dance shoes down. Even when I was injured, I've been injured 3 times and I still, I injured my knee at an audition that I made. I made the audition and I twisted my knee the audition that I made. And thank God the project was not for a month later, so I had time to heal. But I was like, how did I injure myself? And I made it. Are you kidding me?
Look at
it God. Was crazy. Look at God. God is amazing.
All the time, God is good.
Okay, Keston said we sound good. Don't worry. Okay, all right, thank you, Kes.
Appreciate that. So, through dance being your drug, what type of doors has it opened for you? What kind of opportunities has it given you? Because we're jumping to the point here, like catching that.
Well, let's just go straight into catching flights. Well, I mean, I have been traveling since I was a little girl because my mom taught me at a very young age, you got to start leaving the country. When your family is of Caribbean descent or African descent or any type of descent, when you're not American especially, your parents teach you to travel. Okay. So my grandparents were never in the country. My grandparents were always traveling. My mom was always traveling. So I remember, you know, and then my stepfather was from Jamaica. Okay. So my mom was always in Jamaica. So I started traveling when I want to say about 8. Mm-hmm. I got on the plane and went to my first country.
Were you going to see family that lived overseas?
Sometimes it was vacation. Okay. You know, adventures, you know, exploring, things like that.
And you would do like family trips and stuff like that?
Family trips, yes. Family trips and things like that. When I was younger, when I got older, then it was, you know, friends or it was work related.
That's one thing that I got to say. I don't think I've ever discussed it before. So thank you for bringing it up. When I was younger, we never traveled. Right. Like we didn't go anywhere. Right. Except with my grandparents. Right. So my grandparents I don't think they have it anymore, but they had a timeshare in Jersey. Okay. On the Jersey Shore in Brigantine. It's like this little island, maybe 30 minutes or so from Atlantic City. Okay. And when I tell you, I used to love going there because the room, you could see the beach from the room. Uh-huh. And as a kid, it was just like, okay, so pool or the beach, where we going? Because we getting in somebody's water. Yes, I love the water. As an adult, I hate pools.
I love beaches.
Same. I'm a beach girl. I'm more into natural germs than people germs. Ugh,
I don't care if it's chlorine. They say, chlorine cleans it. No, it's like just it doesn't matter.
That shit is gross. I love I mean, I think people pee in the ocean, yeah, but it's a vast ocean. It's not contained and it's not sitting and festering.
I love space. I love the fact that you stay over there, I can be over here.
Yeah, and it moves. It does stuff like waves, catching and riding waves. That's how I went surfing the last trip I went on. When I tell you, it just feels good just to sit on a surfboard in the ocean.
Just chill out. Just sit there and do nothing. To the waves. Like it's amazing. Like I love the beach. Like some people are like, I don't like the beach. I get sand. That's why there's fountains over there. Just stop whining. It's just sand. You'll be okay.
It's a natural exfoliator. Yeah. You're gonna be exactly
brackish. Brackish water is the best water for your skin. I tell people all the time, do you notice when you go away to any type of tropical island and come back, your skin look better? It's because of the brackish water. So
and also I'll say, because I also was, I won't say sick, but I was like, you know how you feel it? And 3 days after Theraflu, like I still felt it. Right. So I will say, pat self on back. Like I got on the shit as soon as I felt it because I knew I was getting on the plane. And I have flown with an ear infection before. And
that's not fun.
Only reserve that pain for people I really, really don't fuck with. Correct. So yeah, it was terrible. And I never want to experience that again. So I was definitely trying to cut that so that it didn't happen. But I was still kind of sick when I got out there. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I hit the beach, next day, like I just felt better at the beach.
Exactly.
A couple hours later, you're back in the Airbnb, and it still was just like, oh, okay, like now the day's catching up with me, pushing it. But then it's like 2 days later, and it's just like, oh, I was never sick. Now, it could just be because whatever cold it was passed on. But I'd like to think that it was because of the beach. The sun the sand, the ocean.
Photosynthesis, you know, and it's funny because I'm going to say this, and it's funny that Keston's watching my live right now because I said the other day, photosynthesis is very important. And he went, what did you say? And I'm like, what did I say that was wrong? And he was just like, I just never hear nobody say that. Because, you know, I'm like, I love the sun. I'm like, can I stand in the sun? Can I stand by the window? Can I be in the sun? Because, you know, photosynthesis is obviously energy transferred to plants.
Right.
But we are living, plants are living. So it's photosynthesis as far as I'm concerned. So I'm like, I love the sun. For some reason, the sun just makes my spirit feel better.
It does. That's why I'm a summer baby. There's so much more sun.
I'm a winter baby, but I still love the sun. I love warm. I love nature. So when I travel, the first thing I'm looking up is the beach. I'm like, do they got beaches? Do they have any tropical areas? Do they have palm trees? Okay, I'm in.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've been to other countries where they didn't have it. Like I've been to Germany. Germany didn't have none of that shit. Can I curse? Absolutely, can I curse? Yeah. Okay. Germany didn't have none of that shit, but it was a breath of fresh air. The air was very refreshing and it was very cold, but it was very refreshing. So in Germany, I feel like it cleared my sinuses.
Really?
Like, I was just like stuffy, and then I breathed the German air, and I was just like, it was just very, I can't explain.
Because I was going to say, I've heard good things about Germany. Like it was one of those things, I'm pretty sure it was a Black blogger or traveler or something. And like Germany was never really on my list of places to go visit.
Right. Who wants to go to Frankfurt or Munich? No, I'm just kidding.
But like, now mind you, it was just like, all right, okay, sure, a whole bunch of white people, more white Europeans. I'm good.
Right.
But then I was listening. I don't know if it was YouTube or if it was a blog or Instagram. I don't know where the fuck the information was, but I found it and I'm reading and I'm like, this sounds like a really incredible experience.
Yeah.
So it kind of just opened me up a little bit more to looking into, you know, a couple of more so Eastern European. I'm excited to try the stands and the Uzbekas and the Kyrgyzstans and whatever. Like the shit that niggas be having a hard time pronouncing.
Exactly.
I would love to go visit those places.
You get different experiences. I know for me, I used to live in London. So, and it's crazy because dance got me to live in England. And when people ask me, how did you like London? I said, why am I still in America? I want to go back. You know, the discipline and everything was different. But what I loved the most about England was everything was tight and on time with things like, I feel like sometimes in America, we're lackadaisical and we're lazy and the eating is so unhealthy. I feel like in England, we ate so much better because English food is not my favorite food, but you learn to be a cook. You learn to be like, all right, I got to cook, you know? So I cooked a lot when I lived in London and I just really loved living there. I really loved just the atmosphere, the energy, the cultural aspect of it. Everybody just coming together. It was just a beautiful vibe for me, especially in London. I guess it depends on what parts of England you're from. I was in London. So I lived in Notting Hill, which is actually where Carnival is, Carnival season. And it's like borderline Notting Hill, Westbourne Park area. So I lived in a very good area. So I had jerk cut over there. You know, back when I used to eat meat, I was getting jerk chicken, curry chicken all the time because it was of access to me.
Right.
Or I was like making it. So I loved living in London. I love living in London. I love that the school that I was at in London.
Because I was going to ask you what brought you there.
Yeah. So the school I was at in London actually, there's a train station right across the street from the school I went to in London. That train takes you to Paris, France. Okay. So one day after school, I was just like, okay, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to catch the so-and-so train. It's a 2.5-hour ride. And I ended up in Paris. I ended up in France. And I was like, oh, well, that was easy. It's like taking the railroad, going from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station. Like, that's how it felt. I was just like, I'm here. It was that simple. And my Parisian story.
Go for it.
Okay. So that story, first of all, if you're going to go to France, anyone who's listening, do not go after Halloween and before Easter because it is cold. It is freezing. I was so cold. So that was number one. It was freezing. Then my phone died. As soon as I got off the train, I was at Paris Nord. Nord stands for North. My phone died. It was freezing. No one speaks English. I speak very little French. Very little. They don't want to speak English. Like, if you speak English to them, they're like, we? I'm like, oh yeah, they do not like speaking English. They can't stand it. So my phone died. I had to use the bathroom. I was freezing cold. And because my phone died, I couldn't find my hotel. So I walked around for maybe 2 hours around France. Talk about niggas in Paris. I walked around for 2 hours like...
You can't even enjoy yourself because you're uncomfortable.
Right. I was like, well, I have to pee. No one speaks English. I don't know where I'm going. My phone is dead. I'm going to just walk around and just figure this shit the fuck out, which I did. And then I ran into a guy named David, who was like, you should just come stay at my hotel for free and let me take you out. And I was like, no, I've seen Taken.
Good on that.
I'm good on that. I've seen Taken. And the guy was French and his name was Peter. And you look like Peter. And I'm good. No, I'm going to just use the bathroom at your hotel and I'm going to leave because you sound crazy. So I charged my phone and my hotel was right around the corner. I was like, I went through all this shit. So that was the first story. Then I tried to go to the Eiffel Tower. There's an area in France. Have you been to France?
No.
Have you been to Paris?
I've been to France, but I want to say more, my assumption is going to be southern, only because I was in Barcelona.
Right.
No, not Barcelona. I was supposed to be, that's where I learned really pay attention to where your booking is.
Right.
You can really fuck yourself over and end up like just being forever away.
Exactly.
So I was staying in like La Gagria, which is like an hour outside of Barcelona.
Right.
I did like a 3-country like what do you call it? Like bus tour, like like a day tour. You do like the 12-hour tour.
Correct.
So I did that, and we did northern Spain, we did Andorra, and we did France, but we only did the one town called Olothernes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like these natural hot springs. It's a beautiful town. It's right in the middle of the Pyrenees Mountains and shit. So snow-capped mountains. And the weather was probably comparable to what it is right now. So it was probably 50s, high 40s. You know what I mean? Like you laying your shit up, put on a denim jacket. But then you're up in the mountains. Yeah. That breeze is hitting.
Yeah.
But then when you're looking at such beautiful scenery, you're like, all right, I'll suck it up because this is so pretty. Let me get this good picture in. Let me get the experience.
Exactly.
And soak it in.
Exactly.
But when I tell you the food was trash.
Oh my God.
The food was trash. I hated the food in France.
Really?
Hated it.
It's crazy because when I was in France, I tried escargot and I liked it.
I love escargot.
Girl. Thank you.
Love escargot.
I thought I was the only one when I
so
put it on my Instagram too. I was like, all right, guys, I'm about to try escargot. And people are like,
you're vegetarian, so
it's seafood.
Animal, it's not okay. They consider it
seafood, so
seafood.
you can eat it as a pescatarian. But when I was in France, I was still eating meat.
Okay.
So I was
the best escargot I've ever had though was in Bermuda.
Really?
When that was Bermuda? The first time I had it. Also, it will until I have better. Of course, it so good, and it was the first time I had it. So I made like this whole big to do about it, and I ordered room service actually. And they sent it with a pizza because you had to order pizza for some reason, and the pizza was trash because it's not American pizza and it's not.
They
New
probably
York.
knew that shit was trash. That's why they told you. Right? Exactly.
But anyway, so heads up, don't order pizza out of the country because it's going to be trash. But
yeah, it depends. I've had good pizza in certain countries.
I've had good pizza.
in Rome. Italy, obviously, in Rome.
I lived on pizza in Rome.
When I went to Rome, that's the first thing I did. I was like, not Rome. I was in Gaeta. I went to Naples.
Okay.
The plane landed in Naples, and my friend lived in Gaeta, which is about 40 minutes away.
Okay.
The first thing I did was get pizza. Then I had to try the spaghetti. Then I had to try the lasagna. Then I had to try gelato. I was like,
the gelato was so good.
I was like, what? And then I went to Rome.
Oh no, wait! You know where I had really good gelato?
What country?
Not Amsterdam, Austria. Was it
really?
Austria? Yes, it was so good.
Really?
It was so good. I love. That's what I said.
That's interesting.
I had a really quick stay. It was like a full day in Austria, or was it like 16 hours? But it was like a good 16 hours.
Right.
Like I get in at like 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and then like I leave. Nope, I got in at 6 a.m. and probably had like 24. Then I left like the next day because I know I did have overnight at the hostel.
Right.
But after I got in, I dropped all my shit and I walked around, and there was a gelato little shop like right by the hostel. And so that shit was so good. It was so good. So good. So good. So good. I don't sing, y'all. So good. I don't sing. So good. But what was the we started with I was saying, as kids, we never did vacations. And we had that one time, like that 1 week out of the summer, we would go with my grandparents to the beach. They had like a trailer.
Yeah.
And
food.
That's what it's called? Like
a trailer of food, like just
like a double wide, like a RV.
Trailer. RV trailer.
What was so strange about it? It's like
I'm thinking
you
about
think
food.
like a trailer park, but it was like a trailer park. Like I don't know how the fuck they came across this thing, but it was an actual RV, but it was stationary, so the shit just sat on the property, right? And there were a bunch of other trailers in the property. It was in Chincoteague, Virginia.
Okay.
It's like a vacation area, if you will. And then it's just a bunch of people just own like trailers out there. Now, I don't know if people live out there full time or not, but we would go out there for a week. And I remember it because like as a kid, it was exciting for me because my grandparents like never made us like, I'm telling myself, but I was like 7. But they never made us like, go take a shower. Like I could stay in my pajamas for like 3 days straight. I could stay in my pajamas for like 3 days straight. And it was just like, okay, well, go wash your face, brush your teeth, and put your pajamas back on. Put on another pair of pajamas.
Well, I mean,
as a 7-year-old, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is great. I'm sitting here just reading my books.
Puberty,
and
like,
nah,
I need a shower.
But as a 7-year-old, you're just like, I'm sitting here reading the film.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't want to do anything else but read my book. I didn't want to play outside. I didn't want to go anywhere. I was a book kid. Like I just would sit and read books.
Understood.
So I'm just like, oh, and no one's bothering me? What? I'll go with Nana and Pop. We going to Chicken Tea? We going to the trip? Sign me up. I'll go. And that was it. Those were my vacations. Those were our family vacations. So I will say, if I do fuck up and have kids, I would
not fuck up and have kids. She did not just say, if I do fuck up and have kids, y'all. Stop it.
If I
fuck up
go
and have
down
kids,
that
your child's gonna see this exact show.
Let them niggas see it.
Really,
let
Mom,
them know where a nigga heart was. I love my people, but I don't know about more, like from me. Like I don't know about me. No, I want more people. Let me not fucking conflate that. I would love for the world to forever be back. I just don't know. I want to be responsible. For that.
I want kids. I teach so many students, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I want kids, and I'm like, oh, I can wait. I just want to give you back to your mom right now.
I don't babysit my cousins. I don't babysit my friends' kids. God bless my friends for knowing that I'm not that auntie. Like the last time I watched.
Dana's not watching you. No, she's not.
Wait, rolling that back because I remember when I was in Kentucky, I had my pseudo goddaughter with me so that my best friend could go get her nails done because she was graduating. And baby girl is, I think she's 9. And we were at that bounce house thing. And I was on it. You know what I mean? Watching the baby, make sure, I don't go disappearing, bouncing on a trampoline, just swinging, then I never see you again. You get lost in your phone kind of thing. So I'm responsible. But it's just like, I don't want to be responsible. And sure enough,
you just don't want to.
30 minutes
which is understandable.
Before that shit was done, she got hurt.
Oh my God.
So it was like a very, like, it wasn't anything. She just landed on her ankle wrong. But it was like, okay. Adult mode. Like, okay. React. What do I do? Okay, come get a hug. So it's like, it's the big trampoline thing. So I'm like, I gotta go get her because I'm like, well, Bert, can you come to me?
Right.
No, fuck. Exactly. All right, so you gotta adult the situation.
Yes, you do.
So you go out, and now I'm like, well, I can't carry you because she can't walk, so I can't like help her. It's a trampoline, so I'm all right, baby girl, get on my back. So it's just like I put her on my back, and now I'm crawling with her crying on my back, and then I know better than to call hysterically and be like, oh, she got hurt. No, I said, hey girl,
you can't do that.
First of all,
Jay's laughing.
She's fine.
She's okay.
But we had a little, snafu. landed in Rome, but she's fine. She's fine. You know, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. She's speaking. So yeah, that was the last time I watched a kid, and
you just went. Now it's not for me. Speaking of children, my experience in China. Oh my gosh. I went to China a year and a half ago, 2018, for dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a part of the CBA, which was started by Yao Ming from the NBA.
Okay.
So it's like the China Basketball Association.
Right.
The China Basketball Association. So I remember I was one of the dancers. I actually was one of the choreographers for the halftime shows. And when we were on the sidelines, you know, cheering on the team, there's this little
cheer
Chinese,
in English or in Chinese?
We cheered in English. We cheered in English.
Well,
not cheerlead. We just danced. We didn't do the rah rah sis boom bop. We didn't do none of that. We just straight danced. But what was funny was I remember there was one specific game. There was a little Chinese girl who came next to us, and literally every time we would like do something, she was doing it with us.
The baby.
She was moving with us, and she was like, I like hair.
Aww.
You know, because, you know, one thing about Asians, especially in China, Japan, and they're more accustomed to Black people. Chinese people are not. They look at you like.
That was the most I've ever in Shanghai. That was I in Shanghai? No, where the fuck was I?
Period.
I was in Shanghai.
Period.
When I tell you, like,
period.
It's one thing where you have like you're used to like guys looking at you on the street, and you just don't pay them no mind. But like
people, in
my nigga was on like riding his bike. I'm like, yo, papa, like fucking pose, like watch where you're going, like just like
Black people, and then this thing,
and they watch you walk past, and I'm like,
oh, it's the hair, it's the body, it's the butt, it's people like, well, like, and then because we were there for a purpose, people already had our pictures plastered on hotels and flyers. So when we got off tour buses, people were literally, it was like paparazzi every single game.
Interesting.
We were getting off the bus every single game. People, autograph, picture. Oh, I want picture. Oh, I like hair. Can I touch? Like, it was crazy. I was just
big ups to the few that asked, because I'm certain there were some that just went for it.
So many. I mean, I was like, this must be how Michael Jackson, Beyonce, all the greats must feel like, getting off the bus and just having cameras snapped at you, being on everybody's, and you just have to. The coach told us, when you get off the bus, just wave. And we were like, we get off the bus and we're just waving. Sometimes they give you flowers. Like, there was a couple of times where we had to do a mall appearance in China. It was a brand new mall, huge mall in China that they just opened. And we got off the bus and they had flowers for us. And we just are like waving and just, you know, making an appearance, just standing there, just looking pretty. And
what an experience.
I mean, so cool. I felt so important, and I felt so important. I got to shop for free when we didn't have games. Yeah, when we didn't have games, the like the CEO of the company would give us like 200 yuan. 200 yuan in American dollars, that's like maybe $600 or something like that.
Shit. So it could be 200 American dollars. I'll take your brand.
200 yuan, and we would just go shopping. We just went shopping. I bought like Balenciaga out there. I bought Gucci out there, and it was, a lot of it was real, you know. And then people who lived in China that played on the team who told us the stores to go to that were like, this is real. Go to this store, because they had some of the knockoff shit. But it was, I mean, I felt so important. I felt famous. I got food for free. I got to eat, dance, sleep, and party for free for a month in China and go to different parts of China. You're going to talk about spoiled. I was like, if this is my life every day, wow. And the basketball team, they were so spoiled. Oh, I don't like the way this food was made. Can y'all make this pizza over? Like, I remember one time the basketball team got angry because they didn't like how that pizza was made. They made the chef do it over because they were like, we have a king and we have to eat right. And I'm like, now I understand why these motherfuckers are spoiled in this industry, because when you are accustomed to getting everything your way, everything our way, everything went our way that whole trip. It was like, what are you going to tell me?
Now, would you want to live like that?
I would be lying if I said no. Yes, I do. However, if I want to grow and evolve, I cannot live like that.
Yeah, because I was thinking like,
to be that spoiled.
I would love for more things to go my way in life.
Absolutely,
but
me too.
I don't know that I would necessarily want that to be like my permanent life.
I
feel like it'd be so different from what I already know. Mm-hmm. And I've already spent so much time doing it this way. Yeah. So something that drastically different, I don't know how I would. Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a bit spoiled now. Like I was saying before the cameras were on, I could be a bit of a baby. So I have my spoiled tendencies.
However, I don't like to call it spoiled though. I like to say it well loved or well appreciated.
Well taken care of. Yeah.
You know, like my dad's spoiled the shit out of me. I'm daddy's girl. You know what I mean? Like I was saying with my coworkers today, like my dad still can't tell me no. Like I can probably count
my dad
by like and remember the times that my dad has told me no.
No.
And it'll always be generally for a reasonable reason. You know, I mean, like, I get it. It makes sense. Do I like it? No. However, I don't know if I would want that to, like, transfer into all aspects. Yeah, damn, that's so weird.
It's hard because the thing is, it's crazy because I love my people. No, the thing is, I like that everything went my way. I like that we got spoiled. Unfortunately, because it was 8 girls on the trip, all 8 girls got spoiled. Mm-hmm. When you had 8 spoiled girls on a trip.
So it was good that it was like for a temporary thing, considering you had to share the experience with other people.
Yeah, because to do that, to be that way by myself, here's the thing with being spoiled. And I've been around people more spoiled than me. And I've told them, you're a selfish bitch and everything is not about you. But when you're accustomed to everything being about you, in the real world, that's just not what it is. You're going to get a job. You got to do what the fuck you got to do. You got to do what the fuck you know
what's interesting, though? I think that for some people, that is the real world. And that's where the difference is. Correct. Because we still have, even though we're well-loved,
yes, well appreciated. Queens girls, people always say Queens girls are spoiled. We are.
Yeah. Okay, I'm fine with that.
I'll take it.
Feel how you want about it.
Queens girls are a little more, out of all the boroughs, Queens girls probably are the most spoiled. Whatever. Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
But I feel like I still work for my shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I feel like my dad is so willing to acquiesce to just about anything I ask for because he knows I'm not going to ask him for some shit that is ridiculous. Now, granted, let's not get carried away. I do be getting a little extra. Like, oh, Danny, can I have no plate of food? Oh, can you make this for me? Oh, can I have a drink? Oh, can you go pour me this? Oh, so yeah, like shit like that. But it's just like, I'm not asking. He don't pay my bills. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't, drive to, now if something did happen, he would drive to Florida.
Of course he'd go above and beyond.
Of course. But I mean, like, it's not something stupid like, oh, I don't have any money to get my nails done. Can you get my nails done? Oh, I don't have any gas money. Oh, it's not something stupid. It's like, oh, so you, like, I'm cooking dinner, like, so you want pork chops instead of steak? Okay, baby girl, so we'll have pork chops.
Yeah, I appreciate hard work, you know? And I think that's why I said I could live like that, but I would feel like, damn, I gotta do something.
Right.
I gotta work for something. I gotta do something because if everything is handed to me, in some cases, sometimes when you're too spoiled, you become dependent.
Right.
Because you don't know how to do anything.
Everyone is supposed to do it for you, and then God forbid something goes left, you're lost.
You don't know how to do anything by yourself. God forbid the person who spoils you dies tomorrow. How are you going to survive?
Right.
So when I lived in China, I was very spoiled in China.
But you're also working for that shit.
I was also working for that shit. I danced my ass off. We danced. We worked hard. We was tired. Every chance I was able to take a nap, I was like, because the jet lag, the difference is right now it's 8:16 in the morning there.
Got it.
So the difference was real. Like when we first got there,
was it 16 hours, 12 hours, or something like that? It's a whole 24 hours.
It's a whole 24 hours, and the flight was about 17 hours. So I was on that plane for a minute and just, the jet lag was real. I was like, Jesus, I thought that going to London, I thought going to Europe was a long plane ride.
No.
But when I went to Asia, I was like, God help me when I go to Australia, because I'm going to Australia. That's going to be the next stamp on my passport pretty soon. But that plane ride is 24 hours.
And see, I prefer long. I don't know about 24 hours, but I actually like 20, longer. Right? I don't know. I did my layover in that's the
you went to Australia, right?
No, I've been to Australia. That's on my medium length list. I have a short, medium, and long list.
Okay, cool.
That's on the medium list because that's just a grip. Like Australia is bread to get out there, and I ain't got it.
So it's a Commonwealth. The Commonwealth countries are always going to be expensive. Even going to Canada, and it's right up there. It's expensive. It's right there because it's Commonwealth.
Travel hack to get to Canada: fly someplace cheaper and go from there.
Buffalo.
So I went to Seattle. Because when I was looking for my trips, everything had a connecting flight in Seattle. Everything had a layover in Seattle.
Okay, cool.
So what I did was I used my, I want to say JetBlue points to get me a one-way ticket to Seattle. So I didn't even have to pay to go to Seattle. And then I think that my flight was maybe, it would have been less, but I was meeting my homegirl out there and she wanted to leave on Sunday night. Where's the camera?
Look at the camera.
I hope you watch this. And she was episode 2, episode 3, traveling with friends that just went to shit. I love her dearly. We are still truly great friends.
But she has to pay more.
But yeah, because she wanted to leave on Sunday. Niggas had to work on Monday. She wanted to leave Sunday afternoon so I ended up paying like $400 for like the ticket one way. But it was just like, it didn't make sense for me to pay less, leave earlier, but then I really would have fucked up her trip. Because then she would have had to take 2-3 hours dropping me to the airport. And that would have cut the 4 hours out of her day. And so it was just like, you paid for everything else.
Yeah.
Like, because she had already had the trip booked.
Exactly.
Prior.
Exactly.
So it was one of those things where, hi, baby girl.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle's in the building.
Michelle. Hey.
And so with that, it was just like, all right, so I could fall on my sword on that one. I could take that L. It's really not a huge thing because she'd already paid for the hotel, which I would never spend the money she spent. This bitch spent like $800.
Right.
And I'm just like, ooh, mind you, we were in Banff. Banff is very expensive.
Yes,
so there's that. But so that the long of the short is the travel hack is fly someplace where you're seeing a lot of the layovers happening. Yeah. If you can pay for a trip that will get you to wherever that layover destination is, then it's much more cost effective for you because you could possibly use your points for it and you don't have to end up spending for the whole thing.
But don't fly Spirit. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear me? I don't give a damn how cheap it is. I don't give a damn how good it is. I don't give a damn if it was $10. Is $10 that is not worth it. Spirit is the worst airline ever. This is how I feel about Spirit Airlines.
Where did you go?
I went to Spirit. I flew Spirit twice. I flew Spirit to Miami one time for this one's birthday. And for this one that just booked his birthday. And then I flew Spirit when I went to Los Angeles for the first time because I booked the gig. And it was like, I had to hurry up and get out there. And Spirit was the only airline that had the flight for me to get to Los Angeles in time. So I was like, damn, I have to take Spirit. But that airline was just terrible.
Why did you hate it?
Because the food sucks. The seating sucks. It smells. It's like riding. It's like riding
on a bus. I don't do the bus.
It's like riding on a bus.
Public transportation.
In Brownsville.
That's like
riding the bus in Brownsville at 12 o'clock at night. That's how I felt.
With that guy that's jerking off.
With that guy that's jerking off, staring at you.
And even though you move your chair, he moves along
with you. And the smelly people. I hated Spirit. I think leaving LA, I was supposed to fly Spirit back. And I said, I'm going to switch airlines. I switched to American Airlines.
It was that bad?
It was that bad that I didn't want to be bothered. I switched and I said, I'll just fly out the next day because I'm not flying back home Spirit. It was snowing in New York. So, Spirit delays for every little thing. Oh, there's a drop of rain, delayed. Like, Spirit just is full of no disrespect. I never try to take money out of no one's pockets. If you work for Spirit and you're on my live, I'm sorry. If you're on the live and you work for Spirit, I apologize. But the airline is trash. Sorry, I'm saying it. I said what I said. That airline is terrible.
The one thing I will say about airlines like Spirit, because I've never flown Spirit because I've consistently heard those kind of stories.
Oh my God.
So I've always just been like, nah, I'm good. But also what's deterred me is that they make you pay for your check shit.
Absolutely.
Like they don't let you do the carry on. No. And I'm just like, yeah, no,
You gotta pay for your carry-on. What the
and
fuck?
Carry-ons is that I don't want to pay for anything. And then I always just smile and I'm extra nice to people. If I, God forbid, have to go to the kiosk, like to talk to somebody to check in. Don't weigh my shit, sis. We're not doing that. Don't do that.
Spirit just make you pay for every little thing. You want food, you have to pay for something to drink. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? So you pay
who else?
It's a cheap
flight. Lot of places make you do that. It's an not American airline, the airline, but like airlines in the United States are very
cheap.
Yeah, they're very stingy with the giveaways. Abroad, like when you fly, like
they got meals ready for you,
bruh, not just meals, like they're giving away free liquor,
everything.
I'll be looking to them like, oh, since you got a Heineken, I don't even like Heineken. Like, let me get one.
Yeah, I'll say I don't even drink, but I tell people like, look, fly this airline because they offered me mad liquor and I didn't take it, so y'all could probably take it. Because and what else? I mean, just the food is better when you fly aboard.
It'd be so
have you ever flown first class?
No.
You have to fly first class. I think the first time I ever flew in first class, I said, I don't want to ride coach ever again.
Are they just nicer to you?
They're nicer. They treat you like you are somebody. Like you somebody. You are somebody.
You wanna go somewhere.
You better wake up and pay attention. No, seriously.
Good nostalgia.
Sister Act. Anyways, no, but first class, I loved it. I was just like,
where did you go in first class?
I was going to Atlanta, and they said, would you like to upgrade to first class? I was like, actually, I have the money to do it. Let me do it. So I experienced it. I flew first class 3 times. That was the first time. And it was just, would you like something to drink? They came with a tray. Would you like something? Like they bring everything to you. Would you like a pillow over your head? Would you like a back massage?
Yeah, I'm like
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm dragging it with the back massage. And then depending on the airline, I might be dragging it with the back massage. But they treat, right, Michelle? They treat you right when you fly first class. You have all the room in the world to relax. I was like, I don't ever want to fly coach again.
Shit.
Ever again.
I have never. I would love to. I just don't have first class funds.
You have to do it.
Will happily walk through the TSA pre-check line feeling like the first class bitch. And then sit in my economy ass seat and keep my shit quiet.
Sometimes you gotta fly
with everybody else.
Then when I came back from London, I flew first class. I was like, I'm on this plane too damn long. I'm flying first class, and I had the time of my life. There was this whole bar setup situation in the front of the plane that you couldn't even see if you was in coach because they blocked it off. But I got up, and there's like an upstairs. There was a spiral upstairs, and you go up there.
What kind of plane was this?
What airline is this? I think it was Delta. I think I flew
that's the
Delta.
fancy TV plane. I've only heard of those things. I've never seen those.
I flew Delta, and it had the spiral stairs going upstairs. I feel like I was in the movie Soul Plane. I was like, "What's up here? Am I going to go to a club?" Like in Soul Plane, you went upstairs, and there was a club upstairs on the plane. I went upstairs, and there was like a bar area, and it had all of the best snacks. It was like a child's playground. It was so much stuff. They had cheese. They had soda. I love cheese. So that's why I'm not vegan yet, because I love cheese. And I got the snacks. I got the soda. I was like, I'm drinking soda today. My ass, water is life, but I was drinking soda that day.
It was free. They was giving it away in the Soul Plane with stairs on the flight.
The Soul Plane. I was like, yep. And I just enjoyed that 8-hour flight back to America, like
in comfort, in luxury.
Comfortable. And I was the only Black woman in first class for that flight.
And see, that's part of the reason for petty shit, just because I want to board before everybody and just be like, yes, bitch, I'm getting on now. Stop looking at me. I'm doing it the right way.
Yes, my color skin is dark, and I'm in first class.
Yes, this is my seat. You can stop looking at me. Yeah. I belong here.
Like literally, I sat next to this older white man, and I remember I just went, "Excuse me, I'm on the inside," and he just went. I'm like what are you staring at? Why are you looking at me? Like there's a little Black girl with braces.
We get nice things too.
There's a little Black girl with braces coming to sit next to me on the plane in first class. Are you sure you're in the right place? Yes.
Text somebody and let them know.
There's a Black.
They're infiltrating.
There's a Black girl with braces next to me.
She doesn't belong.
She doesn't belong here. I think so. The receipt says I belong here.
Same way you do
says I belong here.
A question for you: what in your dance experience got it to the point where this is your career? How did dance become your lifestyle? Like, how are you able to experience these, I don't want to say experiences again, but like, how did you get here where you're traveling for dance and not even like short-term dance, like, you know, long-term? And then also question. The difference between, because I feel like you said you were in school in London, but then you had the gig in LA and then you had the month in China.
Yes.
So tell me about that. What is that process like?
Well, I don't know if you remember this, Michelle, but remember we were in Miami walking down Ocean Drive?
A friend of ours walked in, Michelle. Yes. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
He's here.
So,
ski-wee, my sorrow. Oh, ski-wee, ski.
No shade, I'm sorry.
We had a moment.
Yeah, no shade.
But shade courts and felts. But it's okay, you know. We used to it. Person finance for
first created, most hated, you know.
Used to it. But as you were saying, sis, go for
it. Sorry, old ladies. Old ladies first created old ladies. Anyway.
That's cool. I don't look
at Okay. Okay, no, all jokes aside, it's so funny because this is AKA Colors right here too. What you doing? You did that on purpose?
Didn't. It just kind of
look at this.
Happens.
So anywho, so what happened was I was in Miami with my friend Michelle who just walked in, and we were walking down Ocean Drive, and I said, Michelle, what am I doing? I want to dance for the rest of my life, but I feel like I don't have a direction. I feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I want to dance. I know I want to travel, and I know I want to do this for the rest of my life. And she said, girl, I'm struggling too. I want to run businesses. I want to run companies. I want to be bosses and stuff, you know, like we were both, she was still dancing at the time too with me. But at that moment, I think she realized she wanted to be behind the scenes and be a boss, which is what she manifested exactly what she's doing. And so did I. So I came back to New York after the Miami trip, and I had to talk with my boss, and I said, I want to go back to school because I think that something is missing with my dance career. And I feel like if I have some knowledge from school, that gives me an advantage to go even further with my dance career.
So what had your dance experience been before then?
Gig to gig, little gigs here and there. You know, I had some big gigs, you know, thanks to Michelle. But I was just hustling, taking classes and things like that. I didn't really have a career at the time. I was still training.
Got it.
I was still training, but I was ready to experience. So I went back to school, and I had a tough year and a half at Adelphi University.
I forgot you went to Adelphi too.
Yes, I am an alum. So
well, we'll talk later. Okay. When tomorrow there's an event.
Okay, cool. So I was at Adelphi University.
Damn. So only thing we didn't go to high school together.
No, we didn't go to high school together.
We went to the same elementary school. And then we were at the same dance school for a while.
And the alma mater.
Yeah. Look at this universe.
I know.
Look at this universe.
So I had a tough year at Adelphi University because, you know, you're a Black girl in an all-white ballet program. Oh, no, I'm not a size 0. I'm a size 6'7". I have ass. I have a body. So I was trying to adjust to the bunhead lifestyle again that I hadn't been since I was a child. Hey, guys. So they had what was called Dance Abroad. So I said, okay. Yes. They had what was called Dance Abroad. So I said, okay, what is this about? I started doing my research. I started going to all the abroad classes. I started doing all of the information I needed to get.
Then you know what? Let me pause you right there. Big ups to that.
Thank you.
Take a minute to kind of pull in that is a big step, because now that you're saying it, I remember sitting in somebody's class while I was awake. That wasn't long. But I saw something about like study abroad, and I remember like dismissing it because I was like, damn, I probably ain't got the bread for it. And then two,
it was a lot.
I don't want to fill out no paperwork. So I was just so lazy about the situation.
Yeah, I busted my ass.
And even though like I was curious about it, like I didn't let myself give into that. Like I didn't allow myself that grace to kind of like experience. Yeah, I immediately said that it wasn't for me.
And I tell people that because
don't be me. Be
do not be discouraged when you're about to travel, because I know that when I first found out about it, it was a lot. You had to send in a videotape. You had to fill out paperwork. You had to make sure your passport was on point. And I had again, I've been traveling since I was 8 years old, but I had to renew my passport. It was just a lot that I had to do. And then I found out that they were coming to scout talent. They actually came from London to America to scout talent. So I went to that audition. That was the day before my birthday. And it's funny because when I auditioned for Delphi University, that was the day before my birthday. Ooh. So I was like, I'm going to that audition because if God is on my side, these things are going to align and I'm going to go to London. So after the audition, they said, they just told us right away, we want you to come to England. Oh, let's get the paperwork together. But then the paperwork took forever for me to go to London. The paperwork took forever. I mean, when I tell you, I auditioned the day before my birthday. My birthday is January 31st. January 30th. Thank you, Aquarius and Michelle. So it was the day before my birthday.
So let me just pass through. When was your birthday?
February 3rd.
Oh, happy belated.
Yes, that's my Aquarius.
Get older. Not
right. So stop it, Michelle. So January 30th was when I got confirmation I was going to London. Then I found out I was getting a scholarship in April.
Oh, hello. Free money.
Yes. So I got a dance scholarship in April, but then it did not get confirmed until August. Flight booked and everything. So the paperwork, everything, it took so long. And there was a point where I was saying, is this gonna happen? I don't think this is gonna happen. So I didn't announce nothing. I was like, I'm not announcing this on social media. I'm not saying anything until the flight is booked and I'm going to London. So when the flight was booked, I was going to London. I finally made the grand announcement that I was going to London to dance abroad. And when I got there, I just fell in love. I got to travel. Like I said, when I didn't have school, I was going to Germany. I was going to France. I was going to Italy when I did not have school. So it just that's when I realized, I think I was on the plane going to Italy and I was on the phone with my mom and I said, Mom, I reached a milestone in my life. And she said, yes, you have. And her only dream was for me to pass her. She said, I want you to pass what I've accomplished as your mother. I wanted you to get a scholarship. You got 2. I wanted you to, she ran at the biggest track meet, I think, when she was a teenager. I performed at Madison Square Garden. So she said, I passed her with that. She said, I traveled the country. You traveled the world. So I said, I've reached a milestone, Mom. And I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. She said, then keep doing it. So after that, it just kept going. So London happened. It was emotional. It was great. It was amazing. It was emotional. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my growth. I learned a lot about myself as a person.
Let me pause you for a second. What were the differences in dancing abroad versus here? Because you know how they can say things like the culture of a corporation or the culture of a neighborhood or whatever. Is there a different dance culture over there than there is here?
Yeah. London, when they take creative to the next level, I had a class called Form and Structure. And the teacher said, make up a piece. So I sat back and I watched how everybody made up their pieces. There was one girl who said, everyone stand up. Can y'all go over there? Actually, no, go over there. Actually, no, sit down. Actually, no, everyone go in the closet. Actually, no, can y'all go in the hallway? Actually, no, everyone sit back down. That was her dance piece. And she made us all coordinate. Okay. And so what I learned about London is just Europe, they take chances. Things that we would look at and be like, that doesn't make sense. That's not normal. They take to the next level. And then I've gone to there's a choreographer named Hoffish. If you watch his shows, he doesn't do anything normal. Everything he does, you kind of probably watch and be like, what the am I looking at? But in the artistic form, it was like, wow, you're taking chances. You're being different. You're doing things so when that girl made us move all over the room, we didn't realize we were coordinating foot movement and stuff like that and being together. And then there was another person who, his name was Boran. He made us face the wall and he did movement with his hands and his body. And we had to just listen to it. He said, I don't want y'all to see it. I want y'all to hear it. So one thing I learned about people abroad is they do things. We're in a box in America. they're completely outside the box. Completely outside the box with their creativity. There was another girl who...
Now, were they from London or were they...
All over the world.
Okay.
They were from London.
Do you think it could be London or do you think it could be like where they come from?
Just all over the world. They were just outside of the States. And there was another girl, she just laughed her whole piece. But when she laughed, when I watched her laugh, I noticed she was coordinating her body movement. So it was just like things like that. So I was just like, people get really creative over here and people really pay money to see these things. And being a dancer in London as a man is not gay. Like over here, if you do ballet, you're gay. It's so gay. Over there in London, there's so many ballet boys that are straight out there. It's like, who cares? We're artists. This is what we do. Why is it gay? Because I chose this lifestyle. It makes me gay. But in America,
being gay.
There's nothing wrong being gay. But it's like, why am I? It's like, why am I gay? Because I choose to dance. It's like, you're gay if you choose to dance. But in Europe, that don't make sense. They look at you like, because I chose this career path that has something to do with my sexual orientation. Like, to them, that sounds stupid.
Because it is.
Because it is stupid. But here in America, no, you do ballet. You're mad gay. Like, what does my career have to do with my sexual orientation?
I don't know why it's like more full circle. Like, I was having that conversation with a coworker yesterday or today. I was saying I wanted to run track. My mother was like, fuck that. You got dance class. I'm just like, I was saying to you earlier, if you see her, tell her I still hold it against her because Shorty really wanted to run track. But I was listening to one of my coworkers say, yeah, I wanted to dance also. And I was just like, word, my nigga, like, yeah. He was just like, yeah, but my pops would have done that shit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an option.
It's gay. It's not a feminine thing. I had a student a parent told one of my dance students, he was a boy. His name is CG. He was a Nigerian boy. And he was in my dance class. And his mother was like, I don't want my son dancing anymore. He loved being in my class. He couldn't dance for shit. But he was dedicated and determined, like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get it right. But his mother was like, I don't want them to do this. This is not what men do. And I'm just like, I'm sorry you feel that way. But CG being an Aquarius, man, one thing about us is when we want something and we're not shutting up until we get it. He told his mother, I want to be in that class. And he didn't shut up until his mother went, all right, I'm going to just bring him back. He ain't going to shut up at home after a while, it's just like, you can't force your child. You can't tell your child this is what you're going to do because this is what I want you to do. Because they resent you later for it. Not that you resent your mother, but in your mind, you're like, I didn't want to dance. I wanted to run track. But
I wanted to dance, but I wanted to do both.
You wanted to do both. So,
why can't
sometimes
I be like everybody?
Right.
And or why not?
So in London, if you want to dance as a man, you're going to dance. And you can make a whole career out of it. And no one judges you based off of it. No one has anything negative to say about you in London. And I like that. I like that there was so many males in my dancing school that were straight, that were masculine as heck, they were dope, and they were not judged. Where if it was here in America, they're being judged. I think that one thing about America is everything is black or white. Everything's in a box. But look at what this country was built off of. This country was built on hate. This country was built on discrimination. This country was built on segregation. So when you're an immigrant and you come into this country, it's just like, like my grandparents, it's just like, this is not how we were raised. Like that's black and white shit is not what it is. It doesn't matter everywhere else in the world, but here everything is just
in some places in the world.
In some places in the world.
Well, I think also more around the world is more colorism, which is inherently same. But I mean, you're a tricky one. I don't know why so many things that you're saying are just like looping back around.
Yeah.
I was on the train and I am like 20 minutes, maybe 10 at this point, minutes away from finishing fucking Originals. I'm up to episode 13 of season 5, and I'm just like, Niklaus! I'm like, oh my God, y'all is really, you're quieting my heart. I don't know. I'm on the train crying, mind you. I'm on the train crying.
When you finish it, it's about, you're going to be pissed off. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God! Don't get nothing away, girl.
Had a moment. Sorry. Hey, Morocco, what Yusuf? What's up, Yusuf?
Exactly.
All right, so I had a moment, but damn it, I was just thinking to myself, I want to look up where in the world are Black people welcomed and celebrated, and like what countries, like where have they always Jesus, where have they always been
right.
welcome and celebrated, like all the time? Like
right.
not like recently, not like the past 20 years, 100 years. Where's it just not been a thing? But then I wanted to finish the show, so I was just like, I'll get back to it because I'm thinking if I were to time travel, where would I go?
Yeah.
Like if I were to time travel, but like legit travel and go someplace else, definitely wouldn't time travel here. Fuck that.
Hell no.
But where the fuck would you go in the world? Like where would like me showing up in my black ass skin as a woman, would I just be like, okay, I can go out, run freely and just have a good free spirit ass fucking time?
And Caribbean, honestly.
I'm thinking I'd have to look more into it. But then where in the Caribbean? Because a lot of Caribbean countries have histories of slavery also.
Yeah, they do. Well, I know. Do you know what's crazy is when I went to the Bahamas?
Shit, Haiti, they got free first. Maybe Haiti. But it's a shit show there now.
When I went to the Bahamas, my experience in the Bahamas, I noticed they love black girls in the Bahamas. Like they were just like, oh,
American black girls or just like
black
from
women,
everywhere?
From everywhere. They just love black women.
They're predominantly black country anyway. In my mind, it's always been a black ass country.
Yes, it's a predominantly black country. So I would definitely say the Caribbean, Trinidad, of course, Trinidad. But see, Trinidad is a tricky one because you have the coolies and then you have the blacks. And my grandmother's a coolie Trini. Mm-hmm. My grandfather is black. So they got married. Oh, well, that ended. Why'd that happen?
A quick time, like after a certain, like it'll end.
Oh, okay. Anyways, like I was saying, so my grandmother is coolie and my grandfather's black. So there is a separation sometimes. I mean, if you go to Trinidad now, they come together a lot more. Okay. They're together a lot more. But back then, you definitely saw a separation between the coolies and the coolie Trinis and the black Trinis, like the Afro Caribbeans and the coolie in the Indian Caribbean. So it's crazy because when I found that out, because of course when you're growing up, you just see my grandmother clearly looks Indian and my grandfather's black. I just think Nicki Minaj. Oh, and it's Trinidad Carnival today. And fuck all you cunts that are in Trinidad right now because I hate all you because I'm stuck here in the cold. What's up, Mr. Bacanalis? Speaking of the devil, my boy, Mr. Bacanalis. And my boy Taz, my boy Taz upper class is in the building. He's Nola. From Jamaica. Mr. Bacanalis is from Trinidad, so you understand. Listen, all you in Trinidad right now, go suck your mother cunts.
On the mics. I hit the table.
Sorry. I'm
passionate about this.
All you in Trinidad, go suck your mother cunt because let me tell you something. I should be there. I go every 3 years, and this is year 3, and I haven't been there since 2017. I was supposed to be there this year, but I didn't go. But I'm going to Trinidad.
You're supposed to be there.
Yeah, I'm going to Trinidad. I'm going to Trinidad in August. I just didn't go. Stop it! No, I'm going to Trinidad in August, but I wanted to be there just now. I was supposed to be here just now, and I'm not there just now. So I am mad. Everybody in Trinidad right now. I hope it's raining. I hope it's raining.
That's how I know you niggas is lying. Just now. You ain't leave the house. Get off my phone.
Just now. Like, you know what I mean? Look, see, Ace is laughing. Ace is from Trinidad too. Ace already know the vibes. Ace, you feel me? Ace is laughing right now. He's like, yo, because he's from Trinidad too. He's from San Fernando. So he know, like, look, we supposed to be in our country right now. Are we here?
I would love to be in New Orleans right now.
So you want to be in NOLA. I want to be in Trinidad.
Love.
But where's Frida? So, and the thing is, Trinidad Carnival and Mardi Gras around the same time because they both relate to Ash Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So, because in Trinidad, the culture is, sorry, people in Trinidad, I hope you have a safe travel back to America. Sorry, I was hating real quick. But like I was saying, in Trinidad, there is a division, but it's getting better. Like Ace said big facts. The coolies and coolie is actually a bad word. So
I didn't know that.
Coolies is it's kind of like saying the N-word or chinky or it's
really
coolies.
Okay.
Coolies
learned me a thing.
Yeah, coolies is not the best thing to say, but
what would the more preferred term be?
Well, you say, I mean, it is coolie, but it's just when you hear that word, it's just kind of just like it's just one of those sensitive words.
Like if I said, "Oh, the Jew did it," it's like
Yeah, it's like, ooh,
okay, yes, he's
yes,
Jewish or she's Jewish, and they,
but
but it just seems a little harsh when you say it.
But then you also have the
delivery.
Hispanic Trinidadians, because if you look at there's San Juan, there's Port of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at a lot of the places in Trinidad, they have some Hispanic names to them. So there's different. If you look at Trinis, there's Trinis that look like me. There's Trinis that look like my grandmother. There's Trinidadians have a lot of, and so do Guyana, have a lot of different looks. Very, very. And it's crazy because Trinis and Guyanese, people say we look alike. A lot of times it's just we have a similar situation happening where it's a lot of different versions of us.
Right.
But what I was going to say about the culture is today is Carnival. It's Carnival Tuesday. So Carnival Tuesday is where we wear the traditional costumes. Carnival Monday is where you wear what's called Monday wear. So it's still a costume, but it's Monday wear. It's a little, you get on bad, meaning you wild out. It's a bacchanal and you're vibing and stuff. Carnival Tuesday is more of like show. Okay. So you're showy, you're showing your costumes, you're dancing, you wait for the big stage, you wait to cross the stages, the judges judge you. The best band of the year, of course, gets bragging rights. It's all a competition. I don't know, Tribe might win this year. Tribe tends to win every year. That's the band that Nikki's playing on. I think she's on Lost Tribes. So I think that's the band she's on right now.
Now, what I learned in Guadeloupe, because apparently their Carnival season starts like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and they just do something every weekend until now, when they have like their whole Mardi Gras weeks. But the young lady that was my host for the second day, she was telling me that like different bands will have different themes to their costumes. And there's different way. Like I'm American. Yeah. I'm like regular American, bands, Southern black. Themes. And there's like three different, I don't want to say tiers, but they're like three different tiers to how they do.
Yep.
And
small, medium,
it's like
large. Small
you
band,
have
medium,
like
band,
you make
large
your
band.
own costume, and this is what theme, this is what we're going for, and you make it look as close to it as possible. Or then you got the beautifully ornate and like all the flowers, the sequins, and the $1,000 costumes and all that kind of stuff.
So it's front line, midline, backline. Frontline being the best looking costumes is also the most expensive costumes, and you have midline, which is between, and you have backline, which is the more affordable,
more like you make it at home kind of thing.
Yeah, more affordable. But
also that there are themes, like political themes, and it's just like this is what's going on in the government right now. This is what our cultural climate is in this area, and themes. This is what we're representing.
Sometimes it's creative themes. Like one year, I think the theme was Coming to America, so everything was themed off of Coming to America. Another year, I think I remember the theme.
Now that's for the entire carnival, or is it just for the band?
Every band has its own theme. Every band has its own type of costumes, and then you register small, medium, or large, and then there's a winner for large, there's a winner for medium, and there's a winner for small bands.
Is there an overall winner? Sometimes, or it's always in divisions.
It's always in divisions because it's not fair if you have each band in Trinidad.
Unless you small and you out doing it somehow. I mean, I can think of that being a thing, but
each band in Trinidad has its own theme, and you kind of come up with it. So how it starts is you start months in advance. So they start launching the costumes. I want to say about 6 to 4 months well before Carnival. They start putting out the deposits. People start paying for money. $100 a month paying up to your costume. Oof. And then you put on your costume. Let me tell you something. It is,
and that's a small a small band.
Small, medium,
$100 a month.
Sometimes
$100 a month is a small band.
It depends. Right. So for me,
I'll be on the no band. I'll be on the side.
I've never
look good, girl. You look good.
You are what we call a jumper. Someone who just goes to the carnival and doesn't really wear a costume, but they jump. But for me,
has no idea what's happening.
I think I paid for a costume one time in my entire carnival experience because I was always either a part of the band, I either danced for the band, modeled for the band, or knew the band owner. So I figured out a way to be a part of the team so I didn't have to pay for a costume. And then last year, I made my own costume. The last time I was in Trinidad, I actually made my costume because I knew the band owner. So he was like, Jasmine, just come in and just come up and make your costume. This is the idea of what we're looking like. So I made my own backpack with my feathers. So for like I said, for Trinidad, it's like a whole thing. So Monday, you wear the Monday wear. You have your backpack with the name of the band. You have your thing for your drinks. And then Tuesday, you wear your costume. Everything's showy. Then Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. Everyone goes to the beach. So everyone goes to Maracas. There's a band in Trinidad. I'm not band. There's a beach in Trinidad called Maracas Beach. Everyone goes to the beach for Ash Wednesday. Thursday, everybody goes back to work and school. So it's like a whole thing.
Not once did I hear anything churchy in there, kicking off Lent.
Nope. Nope. It's straight. Go to the beach. I mean, people probably go to church on Sundays because
Shit, I don't go to church. I'm just saying. I just know that's what.
And then it starts. Carnival starts a month in advance. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of once your carnival comes up, the festivities begin. And then the week of Carnival, they have Macho Monday.
Question for you. What is the cultural significance of Carnival?
Slavery freedom.
Got it. So every country will have it right before they are to celebrate when they were emancipated or freed, if you will?
I want to say
carnival
seasons. Every season is different. Like Trinidad is happening right now. Mm-hmm. Jamaica is in April.
Oh, okay.
St. Martin is in April. Bermuda is in June. Barbados is in July, August. Caribana, which is in Canada, is in July, August. Labor Day is obviously
I went to that
Labor
one
Day.
year.
Labor Day is obviously Labor Day. So
I fell in love with the little boy.
It's a lot of walking, but you don't feel it.
Hell yeah, I feel my feet.
You don't feel it.
We women of a certain age. We ain't with the shits. I'm good.
You don't feel it. People are like,
my feet was hurting.
They're like, Jasmine. And then the thing is, you do it to Carnival. I think Trinidad Carnival starts at 9 in the morning. It's not at night. Then you got to do it the next day.
No.
But you don't feel it until it's over. I tell people all the time, if you think Labor Day is bad, then don't leave the country.
I've never been to
because Labor Day ain't shit. I tell people all the time, Labor Day Carnival, I'd be like, it's over already because I'm used to Trinidad Carnival.
A whole 12 hours.
A whole 12 hours. You outside.
But then even longer because you got to be there and ready and on the road at 9.
And then once the road part is over, people still outside playing music and partying and
see, I had a coworker.
It don't end.
A couple jobs ago, maybe one job, the job before I'm at now, and I remember one of the workers telling me that he was going or planning to go to Trinidad fucking Carnival. Mm-hmm. And they were telling me about, like, we don't drink water. We don't really eat. We just drink, dance. And that's what we drink.
I drink a whole lot of water.
And we dance.
And
I'm like,
drink water. You better drink water before you pass out.
I am not of that lifestyle. I get tired very easily. I know my tolerance for partying is not here. I'm more at a here, and that's the bottom. So I'm like here.
Netflix,
you know what I mean?
Chill.
There we go.
But see, the thing is, I hate clubs, but I will go to a fete, which is that's a party. I will go to a fete or carnival any day. I hate clubs. So Jasmine, you want to go to the club? I'm like, Jasmine, there's a fete. There's a fete. You want to go to? Yes, I want to. Like, I don't know what it is.
What the hell is a fete?
It's a party.
But what's the difference? It's just the music.
The fete is what we call parties in Trinidad.
But y'all have different music.
Soca, calypso.
See, boom. So let me break this.
Calypso, dancehall. But that's what we call parties in Trinidad. We call them fetes. I come to fetes. I come to I go to
I know.
Fete.
I have a quiet
So it's just what we call. It's just what we call a big. It's a big party. So fetes are what we call huge parties, like maybe 10,000 people in attendance.
The fuck out of here!
Like they have insomnia. They have Soca Brainwash. That's a huge fete. They have Soca Brainwash. They have Insomnia Fete.
Too many ways for things to go wrong.
They have Insomnia Fete. That starts at 10 o'clock at night and ends at 10 o'clock in the morning. It don't even feel like it. They have Insomnia Fete. They have Soca Brainwash. They have Red Eye. They have AM Beach. They have Duck Walk, which is also Fuck Walk. They have Duck Walk.
See? Why do I need to be a part of that? That's not my life. I'm not into that.
Party, drinking rum. Exactly.
No, thank you.
So it's
ma'am.
So
I went to Miami Carnival one time, and
you went to Red Eye.
There,
you went to Red Eye.
I think we did. I don't know because I don't like going to large parties. It's not my thing, and I'm American.
Look at Ace. Ace is like, yeah,
and I'm American. So I'm like, it's with so much thing I can do at one time, and I'm just like. Y'all got no trap. Y'all got no. I mean, I'll take some bounce. I'll fucking take a couple R&B joints right now. I mean,
recipes to Pop.
I'm sitting there like,
recipes to Pop Smoke because my band did play some Pop Smoke last year for Carnival. They did play Dior because we were in Brooklyn. We were at Labor Day Carnival, and they were like, they did a Dior. Hey, She like the way I dance.
Okay,
she
that
like
one.
the way I move.
That's the only song that I can.
She like the way I move. Gotta make a clap for a nigga. Yeah, so they played Dior, which was Pop Smoke, just to switch it up a little bit, but then they went right back into "From Them My Bond" and I cheat.
I know that song from high school. Shit.
There's that fire.
They start telling me to jump.
Right, and I'm like, oh, time to sit down. Time to sit down.
You talking about Rupee? You make me wanna.
Oh, I like that one.
Jump around the place. I want to, and Rupee's from Barbados.
The catch is, I can do it for maybe an hour. That's all I got in me.
Michelle's like,
I gotta be already turned. I gotta already be turned.
And go to my bed. She's like, yeah.
Once, like, if you're with good company, the music is good. I'm good for like an hour, but after a while, it's like it's too much of one thing. Any one thing for too long just gets very exhausting.
If you're not of the culture, I will say, if you're not of the culture or you don't love the culture, I always tell people that is not for you. I have my boys. They're called the Wolfpack ENT, and they throw fets.
Like I don't want to be.
Yeah, they throw. They throw fets. They actually about to throw a fet March 21st. It's called Fet Lag. It's called Fet Lag, which is the after carnival.
Okay.
Fet Lag, yeah, because it's jet lag after carnival. They have Fet Lag, and that party's maybe about 4 hours, but it's nonstop vibes. They just had a New Year's Eve party.
Only 4 hours?
Yes, only because that's the time that.
How much do they want for that 4 hours?
It depends. I don't.
That's a good answer. But I'm like, let them say like $85 or something.
But it's usually if it's $85, it's all inclusive, unlimited drinks, unlimited food. So if it's $85, it's all inclusive. They're pretty fair. And they had New Year's Eve. They had it was basically a fed, but everybody came in their New Year's Eve outfits looking amazing.
Oh, that's cute.
Vibes galore. So it's nothing but you. Like I said, if you're not into that type of stuff, those are the parties are not for you because you're gonna be aggravated over it.
That was me. That was me the whole time.
Oh my God, I want to go home. I'm not here for this. So you have to enjoy that. See, I grew up on soca. My mom raised me on, girl, you ain't nothing but a teaser. If you're Caribbean, you know that song, a dirty teaser. Like I grew up on I Love to Party, like Byron Lee. I grew up on the Dragonflies. I grew up on
and that's how
show.
I feel about like Teddy Pendergrass or like
Ella. See, but I grew up on that too. I grew up on that too. I grew up on. My mom put me on to
Steely Dan, Boney James, Nita Baker.
Yeah, I grew up on that too.
We were a CD 101.9 in the car.
Smooth jazz.
Well, we ain't listen to nuts. My parents only listened to CD 101.9, CD 101.9, and my grandparents were either Kiss 98.7, Kiss FM. We either listen to that or 107.5 WBLS. Those were the stations that my grandparents. So we got like the good music with my grandparents, but then we got like the okay music with my parents. So I was always that kid behind when it was like, oh, you heard the new? I'm like, Anita Baker. No. Oh.
No, okay, I mean, I grew up.
Boney James. Yeah. No. Oh, we're 9. Yeah. Nobody likes Boney James. No. Okay. Cool.
I do.
Cool. Right. But it ain't really cool to talk about it at the fucking lunch table. You know what I mean?
You're just like, what?
Caught up in the rapture.
You gotta throw that anyway.
And they just be like, oh, right. Uno, bitch. Caught up in the rapture.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are hilarious. No, but I mean, I grew up on that too. My mother's very eclectic, so she put me onto everything. But I think what stuck with me was just always soca. Once the thing with my mom is she'll play everything, but once the soca starts, I remember one time I was trying to study for a final, and she did not stop playing it. It was 3 a.m, and I was like, she just going. I was like, my mother's still go. Oh my God. I was like texting my friend, like, my mom's still. Okay, she's on, what year is this? She's on Soca 2001. We almost done.
Right.
We almost done. We almost done.
Track list almost over.
You know, then she's Faluma Ding Ding Ding, which everybody should know. If you know that song, Faluma Ding, Alison Hines, Faluma. That's like one of the most popular soca songs. If you're American, you know.
I'm
Faluma.
Certain I've heard it before.
Yeah, Faluma Ding Ding Ding.
College was fun. College was fun.
Come on, so that's a popular soca song. You know, Jump is a popular soca song. Tempted to Touch is a popular soca song. So if you're American, there's soca songs that you would know.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, Palans.
Yes.
You know, so there's certain songs that you would know, even if you're not of the culture. But if you are, again, I stress this. If you do not like to jump and whine for 4 or 5 hours, do not go to a fete. Yes, Jessica, my mom has a lot of energy. Do not go to a fete.
Another question for you. The dancing just seems so sexual. Like, I feel like
we don't judge. The thing is, people ask too, like, y'all dance like sluts and y'all dress like.
I wouldn't say sluts, but I mean,
people say that.
I'm definitely not a slut shamer, but I'm just like, it's like
culture.
You basically fucking.
For us, it's I think for us is we're not judging. It feels good. It feels like winding your waist, moving your waist, it feels good. Like for me,
I mean, I won't say it don't.
It feels
good.
So I think it's just for me. For me, is it now? I'm gonna be honest. Has it gone overboard? Absolutely. I think that, and I'm gonna just say this shit. But look at him. It has gone overboard. Absolutely. If you look at real Caribbean women, a lot of times, if you like Royal G and Hail Me, the known Caribbean dancers, they will not dance on a dude. It's get off me. I'm gonna dance by myself, and I'm like that too. Now I used to dance with guys, but now if I'm going to a fete, I just want to dance by myself. If I dance with a guy, it's because I'm really vibing with him. But once you start to get all ridiculous and touching me and grabbing, nah, you're not dancing with me no more. So yes, it is sexual. It is very comfortable. But it has gotten overboard. I will say that, especially with Jamaican men. Y'all dagger me one more motherfucking time. Stop daggering me. Y'all dagger me one more time. I'm like, this daggering. This dagger.
And they have like the whole like YouTube video. Like it's just like a thing. And
dagger came from, this is a song called Raga. There's an old school Caribbean song called Raga, 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 Raga.
I feel like I feel
it. So yeah, and then of course RDX, a Jamaican group, decides to come out with daga 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 daga. So a daggering is when you take a girl and you just you know what it is. So it's daga daga.
I don't like being touched by strangers.
It's the same song people who sing bend over, bend over, bend over.
Okay, I like that one.
Back way, push it in.
I didn't know that's what they were saying.
Yes. Bend over, gal. Bend over, turn back way.
I didn't know that was what.
So they're saying, let me see you push it
in her. For me. Oh my God. Okay, God. I get it. You can move on.
5 cent, 10 cent, dog her. So that's what they're saying. That's why when you see the guys doing that part, that's what they're saying. Let me see you push it in. That's why they do that. So when that song used to come out, I used to be like,
it's time to go get a drink, bathroom break, that kind of thing.
And then there was songs where it was a dope vibe, like if Shabba Ranks came on, Mr. Lover Man or something like that, you just want to whine. Or Flex came on, you just want to whine, feel good.
Even Americans do.
But
I feel like a lot of the difference in
but that's Jamaican
songs,
men. Trinity, the thing with Jamaican men are just, no disrespect, but y'all Jamaican men at a party, if y'all are not in a group and doing the dances, y'all are daggering the heck out of some woman, and it's like we don't always want to be daggered. Can we whine?
I feel like the difference in a lot of things, just in terms of like the music, is that, at least in my experience, I didn't take in any of my music until I was probably like junior high, and I was having this conversation yesterday. I was, we were talking about like 90s music, early 2000s music. And that's when I know that junior high, so 97 to like 99 for me was very, very instrumental in me really getting my footing with the type of music that I liked versus the type of music that I was being exposed to. So since I didn't travel as a kid, the only music that I was really getting exposed to was what I was watching on MTV.
Yeah.
I don't even think VH1 was a thing at that point, but it was just basically MTV, like The Box, little shit like that. So in my experience, I'm familiar with some of the songs that you were saying because I remember watching some of the videos on MTV and shit like that.
Right, exactly.
But to wrap this up, what would you say one of the greatest take-home experiences would be that you have had because of dancing abroad, whether it be school, a gig, or just an opportunity that you had come along while you were traveling?
Wow. So much. I have to narrow that down. Understanding and respecting people's differences. That will be because every country has its own rules, its own way of doing things. So I would say respecting people's differences, understanding people's differences, understanding that my way is not always the right way. The way I brought up is not always may not be the way you do it. Like, for example, in Guyana, there's a joke. Guyana say chicken curry, and everywhere else in the Caribbean we say curry chicken. So
it's like rice and beans versus peas and rice.
Trinidad we say peas and rice. Jamaicans, I had an argument with one of my Jamaican friends the other day.
Beans. It's more rice than beans.
I had an argument with my Jamaican friend the other day because I said, "Can I have some peas and rice?" And it's rice and beans, and I went,
"You know what I'm talking about, though."
Rice and peas.
I was like, he's like, "It's rice and beans." I went, "It's peas and rice. Leave me alone."
Country motherfuckers call it peas and rice. My nana always called it peas and rice, so that's what I've been calling it.
Rice. So it just.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Put it on a plate.
Same thing with curry chicken.
Put that oxtail sauce on it. Appreciate it.
Some people say chicken curry. Some people say curry chicken. It's the same thing. There's a Spanish line in Guyana. They call it guinup. In Trinidad, we call it shinnet. In some other countries, they call it Spanish lime. So that specific fruit has a different name depending on where you're from.
Yeah. I learned that from traveling.
You know about guinups, right? Guinups and shinnet.
I didn't learn that.
So it's Spanish lime. In Trinidad, we call it shinnet. And I think Guyanese call it guinup. I don't know what they call it in Jamaica, but they sell it in every single Caribbean country, but it's a different name depending on the country that you're in. So, you just learn different versions of everything. So what I would say is traveling teaches you to respect people's differences. It teaches you to be more open-minded. When you don't travel as much, I don't want to use the word ignorant, but you're more ignorant when you don't understand other people's cultures. I feel like, and I tell people all the time, you need to travel because it'll make you less ignorant. It'll make you more exposed. It'll make you more open-minded when you don't get out of your box. All you know is your box. So anytime someone enters your box and they're different, you call them all sorts of names, and it's like you can't do that. You don't know where they come from.
So it's like the Americans that say speak English while you're here. It's just like, bruh. But you look
Americans
at the English signs
don't speak proper
everywhere.
English. England, British people speak proper English because
except for the ones that the ones on TV, like when you watch what was the show that I was watching? The one that everybody kept trying to make me keep watching. I think I started. The one, the show I'm talking about. One of y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Describe the show.
That would help, right?
Yeah.
The one is it was 2 seasons. Drake was involved in it.
Degrassi.
Nope. It's done over there and
in Canada. Okay.
No, in London.
Oh, in London.
And there are like 2 seasons, or it's multiple seasons, but Netflix or Hulu, whatever company has it, didn't have the first season or like something like that. And they're like, oh, just watch it anyway. You could jump in from where you are, kind of thing. It was just like, what? But it's just like
in Canada.
He's just involved in it. I think in terms of the production or something like that.
Okay.
He's not, an actor or anything. But it's just not a hint on there, inconsequential. Where can the people find you? Where can they keep up with your travels and your dancing?
Jasmine Noir. Jasmine, JASMINE, because that's the only way to spell it. Sorry. JASMINE.NOIR_. You can also follow my brand Petals of Noir, which is also linked on my page, Petals of Noir, where you can find me as well and the things that I do, the things that I book, and just, I always drop what's called a petal of the day. Usually something motivational that I like to drop. Sometimes it's petty. Sometimes I'll drop a petty petal. Like it's just like petty petal of the day, drink water so your face don't break out. Something like that. Right. It's still a petal, but it's a petty petal. So I have petty petals and I have my petals of the day. So if you follow me on those 2, you can see where I'm going. And I will say this, I will be traveling out the country very soon. Yeah. I won't be telling you where, but stay tuned to find out what country I visit next. It'll be a brand new country I have not been to yet. So I'm excited to stamp that passport.
Thank you for coming, my dear. Appreciate you. And thank you, Michelle, for stopping by. We're going to chop it up after.
That camera. I looked at my live. I should have looked up there. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Most people would listen to it anyway. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
so we're
like
good?
14 years from now. Not 14 years from now, but like in the future, we'll be fine. All right, y'all. So thanks for listening to another episode of Traveling Shit. Listen again next week. Appreciate y'all. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
That, and now I gotta stop recording here, and then I gotta stop doing
recording up there
and stream there.
I'm sorry, I was banging on the table.
I apologize.
I was like, oh shit, I'm not listening.